Are you struggling to find a way to be healthy, to feel energetic? Have you tried conventional treatments, pharmaceutical drugs, and other Western medicine approaches to your health challenge and discovered that it hasn't helped you the way that you were promised by your medical professional? Well, my name is Kamela. I am an evidential medium, not a physician. So just remember that I am not here to diagnose you or offer a specific treatment plan. But what I want to do in this video is talk to you about energy healing. Because Western medicine is on average about 200 years old. But when we tap into energy healing, that goes back 5,000 years. And energy healing is a natural, non-toxic approach to balancing your entire body, not just a specific part. Western medicine is very focused on the reductionist approach to only the symptom. So for example, if your knee hurts and you have a stomach ache, oftentimes your family doctor will send you to specialists that separate and focus on just one body part. And Western medicine generally wants to offer one of three solutions: pharmaceutical drug, an injection, or a surgery. And oftentimes that treatment approach is toggled between the three, sort of like, trying to figure out what is the right pattern for you. But when we look at pharmaceutical drug use, I will let you know that 66% of Americans are on one pharmaceutical drug, 40% are on two, and 25% of Americans are on 5 or more pharmaceutical drugs. Now, the interesting thing to remember is that pharmaceutical drugs are about managing symptoms. It's not about addressing the root cause. So most common prescriptions like antidepressants, statins, blood pressure medications, as well as diabetes drugs are actually designed for long-term use. So the idea is if you go on a PPI for like acid reflux, or if you go on an SSRI for like depression or anxiety, or a statin for cholesterol, you're not meant to actually ever come off the drug. So no wonder the pharmaceutical industry is making so much money. But here we are, the people wanting to figure out, how do I actually heal and cure myself so that I don't have to be chemically dependent on a product that oftentimes comes with a compromise. So long-term use of specific drugs can actually compromise the organs of the body as a side effect. So what do we do when we're trying to find the cure? Now, I'm not going to sit here and promise you I have the cure, but I will let you know that energy healing is a beautiful complementary approach to helping improve your health. And unlike the reductionist approach by Western medicine, what I do as a medical medium is I look at the holistic energy of a person. So I know that I'm not here to do a one-on-one client session. If you ever come to like my TikTok live, I do live medical mediumship, and you'll see the way, without me knowing what somebody's real name is or what they look like, I can describe what their health issue is. How is that possible? It is possible because it is all about energy. And I want you to understand that this idea of energy healing dates back to Ayurvedic traditions in India. That goes back 5,000 plus years. In China, they have traditional Chinese medicine, and that goes back about 2,500 years. There's also shamanic healing, which is prehistoric. This is one of the oldest methods to healing the mind, body, and soul. There's also a more evolved or a more modern approach with Reiki. Although if you talk to people in terms of Reiki, which was founded, I would say, at the end of the 19th century, so right at the turn of the 20th century, some people will say that Reiki actually traces back to India and could be seen as perhaps a hidden limb of Ayurvedic healing. So it just depends on what historian you're talking to. But we also have quantum healing, which is understanding that the future can meet the present moment through quantum dimensional healing. So, I mean, there's so many different ways we can go, but I'm going to just talk to you, break it down, what some of the best approaches that I have found as a medical medium. And I want to say I love Reiki. I myself am a Reiki master, and the idea of Reiki is that there is this universal life force that draws down through the practitioner, through the use of sacred symbols, to help heal the energetic imbalances of a client. So it is a hands-on energy transfer to restore life force. I want you to know that it can also be done long distance. So you can jump on a Zoom call, or you can send Reiki actually at certain times without having to even be connected via our cell phones, or even through a Zoom call, or I don't know, FaceTime or whatever people use. It's phenomenal how it can clear the energetic blockages. And as a medical medium, when I'm working with a client, I look for those energy imbalances. And those energy imbalances are oftentimes rooted in suppressed emotion, trauma, and childhood. So those are the three primary places that I look when I start looking for those energetic imbalances. So we can take time to evaluate and to get honest with ourselves about what were some vulnerable experiences that we had in childhood. It could be anything from being bullied to an assault. It could be dealing with poverty to not feeling heard or seen or loved by parents. And that's type of inner child healing, which works wonders at shifting the physical body. And then after looking at inner child issues or blockages, I oftentimes look at the suppressed emotion that could be connected to that incident, or that there is a pattern that is repeating in a client's life. And I look for ways to expose that type of trauma or that repeating pattern, bring it to the light, and allow this universal life force to come in and heal it. Sometimes with clients, I use Reiki, and sometimes with clients, I just need to simply have a conversation to help clients pivot their energy so that they can heal. And it's really remarkable because we can turn to some very non-traditional tools like crystals. And I'm just looking over here because this is the nearest crystal that I have. So we can use crystals as a way to heal. I'll just show you the back side of it. We can also use sound. So I don't have anything right here, but sound frequency, such as like the Tibetan monk bowls, those silver bowls that you might have seen on certain videos, binary beats. There are also crystal singing bowls, chimes, tuning forks, and that's a way to shift the frequency of the imbalance within the body. If you're curious how that works, I'll let you know that every aspect of our body has this electrical field that runs through it. And when there are places that are out of balance, sound can help shift the vibrationally out of alignment areas. So vibration is a tool to help move energy in a positive way. So vibrational medicine helps to harmonize emotional and cellular imbalances. We also have shamanic healing. And when I think of shamanic healing, often that is about soul retrieval. It is ancestral healing, and it is connected to animal spirit medicine. So breaking down shamanic healing a little bit more, and I know that this is quite a big list, so please let me just get through this list and explain each one just a little bit, because every aspect that I'm sharing with you has a tool that could be an incredible way for you to shift the quality of your life. And a lot of people really just want that magic bullet of a pharmaceutical or just a surgery to heal all of the issues. But when you put one finger in a dam that's about ready to break and you keep holding all of these places where everything's falling apart, sometimes it's time to look at the entire dam and assess why it's damaged. And that's basically what energy healers do. So understand that shamanic healing is about retrieving pieces of your soul that could have been stolen or damaged by people that caused traumatic events to happen in your life. So a shaman will use energy as a way to return the essence of yourself back home. If you haven't done a soul retrieval before, it's an incredible experience, and it's wild the way that it can holistically heal you. There's also ancestral healing, and when I tap into the world of ancestral healing, oftentimes that's where I do work with a client that is guided by my ancestors and by my client's ancestors. So this type of energetic work really needs to be done by an experienced practitioner. But there are ways that you can access your own ancestral medicine in order to heal your body today. For example, if you come from a family where there is a history of violence, perhaps it is part of your duty to find the peaceful approach of breaking that violence that has been running from one generation to the next. And let's say the violence is just a really bad temper. It doesn't have to be something like that ends up on like Dateline. It could be something like anger management. And maybe what you're meant to do is acknowledge the wound and start to build tools to support peaceful management, even when things get complicated. So realize that there are a multitude of ways in which shamans can heal people. There's also, in the shamanic tradition, this beautiful connection to nature and animal spirit. So the idea is that every animal that comes into your path has a sacred message for you. And there are many shamans out there and many shamanic oracle decks that you can purchase to help you in your healing journey. And it's quite amazing how anything from a tree to an animal or even a flower has an energetic message. So it's just quite beautiful the ways in which shamans work. And they do work with sound a lot of time. They use sage, they use smoke, they use fire, they use very prehistoric tools in order to help balance your energy. And then finally, I actually want to talk about two more. There's hypnotherapy. I love that because it's subconscious. It's like rebooting. It's rebooting the operating system of your subconscious. Hypnotherapy is also a technique that I use to help my clients experience firsthand a past life. So past life healing is where we connect to a former life and the lessons that you learned and the challenges that you had that are part of this life, whether it is something that is challenging you to heal from, or whether it is actually a tool that's something that you're naturally good at. So I just want to say past life healing is phenomenal. I think one of the most famous, and myself, I'm certified as a QHHT practitioner, and that was created by Dolores Cannon. Dolores Cannon is really lovely. I have since moved away from doing QHHT because it can only be done in person. And I actually use Akashic record, like I call it Akashic hypnotherapy, in which I'm able to take my clients into past lives as well as future timelines. So hypnotherapy is amazing, and not every hypnotherapy session has to actually be a past or a future life. We can also do specific things to help shift habits and to change that operating system of your mind by simply being present in this life. So hypnotherapy is actually what medicine was up until Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud actually could not do the voice of helping to put clients into that hypnotic state. So that's why he created talk therapy. What you'll find is that some of these modalities will work better for you than other modalities. So you always have to listen to your inner guidance, your higher self, and listen to your gut. Does something feel right for you? And the final piece that I'm just going to explore with you is quantum healing. And that's about working in the energy field itself, which is beyond time, space, in order to help shift your reality. So when I use quantum healing, oftentimes when I'm working with a client, that is where I shift into somebody's energetic space. And again, I feel like that's something that has to be done by a practitioner. We also have the chakras, and I feel like I don't want to overwhelm you, but it's energy 101. I'm just talking about some of the most amazing ways. When I read somebody's energy, I always start by receiving the clairvoyant and clairsentient wisdom when I connect to my client. And then once I start to receive these general impressions, symbols, or even if loved ones come through, I will start to feel the chakras that are out of balance of my client. When I'm doing that, I'm actually scanning these magnetic electrical points through the body. And the chakras are connected to the Ayurvedic system, which I said already is like 5,000 years old and has a very incredible, proven system of healing. So the chakras they range from the root chakra, the sacral chakra. I go through and I touch them on my belly. We have this sacral chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, brow chakra, crown chakra, spleen, actually over here, the spleen chakra, and more, okay? The chakra system is very complex. It's very simple. It's phenomenal. It can definitely tell you where somebody's energy is leaking. And it can also connect to tears in the aura. When I think about traditional Chinese medicine and when I think about holistic, actually shamanic approaches to healing and the Ayurvedic system, okay? Food is really important. Using different types of herbs are really important. It's part of the reason, like right now, I started filming the edible apothecary garden that I'm creating for myself for the summer season. I'm going to be sharing that in a different video very soon. And maybe I'll just take time to grow it and show you as time passes how you can do this as well. So realize that when you are sick and when you are dealing with a health challenge, it is a message from your body. It is your body that is trying to tell you it's time to pay attention. So every organ in the body has a specific energetic message to help you calibrate your life so you get back into your aligned soul chart path. Okay, so I do believe that every person has a soul path, a soul age, and that you have a soul chart. A soul chart is sort of like a birth chart in astrology. And that's where from the moment you were born to the moment that you die, there are certain milestones, good and bad, that you have to go through. And as an energy healer, I look at your soul chart and I look at your soul path and I look at what your soul is here to do to help you calibrate into the most abundant timeline that is possible for you to be in at a given moment. And when we get sick, we have fallen off the path. We are out of alignment with some piece of truth, whether that's connected to needing to change your career, or you're in the wrong relationship, or you've been dealing with a tyrant, or you've been treating your body bad. I mean, there's a multitude of reasons that can cause these health issues. But just realize that when you get sick, you're not broken, you're just misaligned. And that's what energy healing does. It works to put you back into alignment. So if you've been treating the physical symptoms with bandages and you never seem to get better, it's because you haven't gotten to the root cause of that energetic imbalance. So those energetic imbalances are connected to our emotional self, our emotional body. It is connected to our mindset. It is connected to our physical body. It is connected to our soul and our spirit. So working with an energy healer is a way to put you back into alignment. And this is so important because what I see now is that people are pressured more and more to want to hyper perform, when I feel that we could achieve better life balance through slow productivity. I see fitness influencers who have a following of 5.2 million people. Okay, and I'll just put her name here. Her name's Janelle Ronner. She actually has 5.2 million followers on TikTok, and she teaches people how to lose weight. Well, she just came out recently that she's been on GLP-1s for the last year. So think Ozempic. She's been taking Ozempic or something similar to that for the last year in order to lose weight. Meanwhile, she was also selling a $200 weight loss program. So I feel like she succumbed to the idea that a magic bullet would provide all of the solutions to the pressure to be skinnier. But what if she had actually trusted her body more and had a little bit more self-worth? Then maybe she wouldn't be navigating this incredibly tense turmoil time where she's getting called out and exposed for using that as her secret tool. She's having to refund people of a lot of money. So overall, how I just want to end this video is that I gave you a brief introduction. There's so much more than just this, but it's important for you to trust yourself. I am not here to be your guru. I am not here to make you a forever client like pharmaceutical companies are focused on doing. I'm here to help you simply get back into alignment. And the way that you get back into alignment is understanding that your higher self, that your inner authority is a critical path, a critical piece to you being empowered in your healing journey. So I know that's a lot of information to take in, and I probably could break down each of these in much better ways. I'm just kind of looking over my notes to see if there's anything else that I just want to share with you. I think that that's about it. I want you to know that wherever you are in your healing journey, that there's always greater ways to shift into better alignment. So I created a program called Soul 30. It is a program where I'm going to touch in on everything that I talked about in this video, and I will provide with you very practical ways to tap into methods of healing. And whether you are sick or whether you just want to become a healthier version of yourself, Soul 30 is designed in just 5 minutes a day to shift your entire life. To help you overcome the energetic blockages in the body, the mental blockages that we can have, as well as the emotional blocks that stop us from really having the courage to turn our dreams into reality. So thank you for watching this video. I'm going to link a video where you can start to understand how using hypnotherapy and connecting to your spirit guides can provide a holistic approach to healing. So all you have to do is click the link below here, somewhere around here, and I have that totally free video. It's about 20 minutes long for you to listen to in order to shift your health. With that, I just wish you so much light and love, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you.